We're building a custom studio for our YouTube Drawing and Arts and Crafts channel, and I only measured wrong twice.
Warning, the methods shown in this video are officially in beta. Dad Builds 0.2 is not responsible for strip screws, crooked boards, or your spouse's reaction to the mess you've made. The person you see in this video is not a pro. He's a regular guy trying to make his kids smile. Follow these methods at your own risk, and remember, it's probably best to consult a professional.
So today is all about studio walls, setting up new gear, installing new lighting, and trying really hard not to get paint all over the carpet. Let's take this old studio and turn it into this new one. So with that, let's take a look at the time-lapse. So here we start pulling apart the studio, absolutely eviscerating the old one. What I really wanted was just an excuse to use that cool word. Turning it into something that looks like a blank canvas. The kids are excited to roll around on the chairs. Also excited about all the new space. It was sad, but also very exciting at the same time. We had a bunch of extra room for multiple activities, and we could really start to see what this was going to open up for us. We got all the cubbies cleaned out, we got things situated, moved around, opened up a lot of area for us to build, and that's what we did. Also, you notice here in just a second, there was multiple time for spreading our wings and doing a bit of dancing, which was also a bunch of fun. So it was outside to measure twice and cut once, as they say. We lined up all of the boards, got them ready for prep to build the walls, the faux walls, you could say. And after we did that, we took the sheetrock in, gathered up all the supplies, brought those in, lined them up on the floor, and organized them, began to build our framework. So as we laid them out, we got them in position, did some measuring to make sure they were correct, and each of the kids took their hand at drilling a little bit using the power tools. We had some participants at times and some non-participants who got into quite a bit of shenanigans on the sidelines, a little tomfoolery, which was all good and fun, and made the project a lot more fun, to be honest with you. So after we got one wall up, we laid out the second wall and started to go through the same exact process. At this time, I was realizing how much fun it was to build this thing with my kids, despite some of the inattention, which again, really wasn't a big deal. It kind of made it more enjoyable, to be honest. So we got the second wall up, screwed everything together, and then, what did we do here? Oh, then it was time for standing on the T-square, which actually bent the T-square, which is a drawing T-square. Anyways, different story, different time. We had some time for rolling around, doing some skids, doing some more dancing, cleaning up a bit, and then back outside to cut the sheetrock. So again, measure twice, cut once, or in my case, measure once, cut twice. So we were able to get the sheetrock cut-ish to the right dimension, sort of, and then moved upstairs to install a couple little plates here to drill the sheetrock to, measure it up to make sure we were on target, and then we had some more dancing time, brought the sheetrock up, and eventually we screwed it in place with a little help from a bunch of hands. We got one sheet up, screwed it in place, and then shortly here we'll get the second piece up. There it goes. Many hands make lighter work. And so a bunch of time on the yoga ball and screwing it in, starting the whole process of using a little bit of mud or spackle to fill in the screw holes. And then it was time to put together the cubbies. So we got a few cubbies in the mail, put those together and added them to what we already had. We had a bunch of fun doing this, despite the fact that it did take a while, and it was a little bit on the frustrating side at times, especially with those little tiny nails. Nailing in that back cardboard was a little bit difficult, but we did it. And you'll see here in a second, we constructed a 3-cube tower there in the back. That's soon to be a 6-cube tower. The boys here are breaking out the next one to get that one built, while Maddie and I finish up the other one. So there's a 6-cube tower. Odin is laying underneath one of the cubbies at one time. Here we go, putting together a 4 by 2? Nope, that's just another 3x1. There goes Odin throwing a piece of styrofoam. He had a good time with that. Unpackaging it was probably the most fun for him. And putting these things together was, again, a little bit of a time-consuming chore, but as you can see, as they come together, it really starts to look nice. So we'll put those together with what we already have in a moment, and you'll see the studio really start to take shape. This one we're working on here, which we just kind of finished up, is a 2x1 cube. We had some big plans for that didn't quite work out. Let's see if it shows here in the time lapse. Yeah, it shows there. I'm trying to hold it up. It's going to be an upper there to make a 2x2 opening, but it's just a bit too wide. Just the calculations of everything and the thickness of the wood just wasn't going to work. So here I am now adding a little side piece because I'm noticing that the cabinetry that we have, the cubes that we have, are not going to quite come out to the edge, which I didn't really think about before. So I'm adding a 2x4 on each side, a small piece of sheetrock, which I'll then have to add some mud to, but minor work for sure. So as you can see, this took multiple days. This is in the morning, I believe. Landon had just come in his pajamas. Here he is doing some painting. Maddie and the kids, Landon, Odin, doing some painting. Everybody's getting in the act. And the walls are really starting to take shape, starting to look like something. We definitely painted over the mud way too early. But, you know, we were in time crunch, so we just kind of went for it and said, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot to worry about here because there's not going to be a lot of light shining on it. There's not going to be a lot of visibility. So here we're kind of mocking up what the studio is going to look like. And now here I am down in the basement cutting out a specific custom piece that we need to fit in between some of the cubes to make it not have a huge gap. And it's the first time I ever cut this kind of stuff, so we taped it up and this is how it went.
My first time ever doing that. Wow, that was cool. I've left is that with a handsaw. Or my skills. I don't know yet. You son of a gun. Does it help to have a battery? Let me know down below in the comments. Yeah, that'll do the trick. That'll make things a bit easier. It was seemingly impossible before. I gotta be careful here. Let me concentrate. Oops. So I'm still gonna need a handsaw, of course, but got it a lot closer there. Now you want to talk about a long history. This right here was my dad's, and it was given to him by his dad. And I don't know how long it goes back before then, but this thing is, oh! There we go. And there's the piece that I need right there. There you go. Sanded it down. That is gonna fit prime time in that spot. Came out pretty good. For never having done this before, I'm very satisfied with myself, and I almost just broke it. I dare say that was a good catch. You know, I think I'm an elite athlete. Elite. Next step is paint after I sand this real quick. I was doing my best grind hard plumbing imitation there. You guys watched that show, great show. But they hardly ever, when they're grinding or sanding something, they hardly ever put it down, so. Rough up the top real quick, just a bit. I got this stuff that supposedly you don't need to rough anything up to sticks anything, but I got the sander right here, can't hurt. And that's as much as I'm gonna do because it's a back piece and it doesn't even need to be done. Get the saw off, crack these paint cans and get going. Oh, shoot. It's not the way. I have some trim to cut. You know, it's the story of my life. I think I'm ready to move on and not ready. Okay. We gotta lock back in for some trim work here.
All right, once I screwed my head back on and stopped making mistakes and forgetting things, I was able to get to the cutting of the trim and then the painting of all of it, priming and painting of all of it. And you'll see the results were pretty satisfactory. I wish I could paint this fast in real life. All right, back into the studio we go. And now it's time for figuring out how to put some of these, put backing on some of these. It only comes with X amount of backing. You're supposed to put one like on every other square or whatever. So we just took some poster board and used some extra tacks that I had laying around. And really ultimately we just had to cover up the top row because the bottom ones were gonna have those little cubby things in them. Here I'm putting a flat board across the top and just making sure all of that is stable. Then here we're inserting some trim along the edges and along the base plate. On this side, we actually wanted it to stick out a bit because we have some rope light to put in behind the trim work. So we just put in some little spacers made out of plywood, and Maddie and I are lining everything up and trying to figure out if this is actually legit, if it's actually going to work. You know, trying to figure out if our idea was actually valid, I guess is a better way to say it. Here come everybody with the cubbies, kind of trying to fill those in. Really trying to see what this thing's going to look like. So you can see it taking shape, and it's pretty exciting. I think everybody's collectively just getting really excited. Here we go, cleaning up the space a little bit, vacuuming out. Here you can see the kids bringing in package after package after package of things we'd ordered to bring this studio to life. And I mean, look at all these packages. It really was beyond exciting. All right, today we're gonna show you how to put together a new studio. We got all sorts of cool things to put into our new studio setup, and we're gonna show you how to do that today. All right, here it is. Welcome to our brand new drawing studio. This took us a long time. Couple of weeks we haven't been doing videos for. We've got our brand new camera setups, our new microphones, our great big new lights. We've got background lighting. We've got all sorts of arts and craft supplies all over the place. New pictures framed up on the walls, lighting on the walls, lighting in each cubby. We really, really, really love this new studio, and boy, did we put a lot of hard work into it. So we'll be doing a full studio tour soon, so stay tuned for that video. But thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.